The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Arrakis, found out beyond, near the very edge of the Imperium. It is the sole source of the spice melange. The once nothing Canopus sector has been thrust onto the main stage. The spice has made fold space technology possible, with the Butlerian jihad over and the distrust of thinking machines still lingering on the mouths of every Imperial citizen. This is a godsend, a blessing of the highest order. House Moritani was gifted fiefdom control over the planet once, but the current emperor has stripped the house of its former glory, choosing instead to raise up House Galloway. Some of the houses of the Landsraad have quietly disputed the new choice, and though smiles are ever present around the emperor, behind his back, a plot has been set in motion that will test not just the position of this newly raised house, but the allies and enemies they've made along their climb. This is a story of intrigue. This is a story of sacrifice. This is the story of Dune.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Dune, Blood-Soaked Sands.
As always, you have impressed me in this back half, in the bottom 9, as it were. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be here at this table tonight. Unfortunately, we are missing one of our players because of issues. So before we hop into it, because we left off on a very delicious cliffhanger, let the cast introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I am Mama McStabber in Twitch chat. You can find me on socials at Relendare, and I am playing Reverend Mother Eovis Della Ullison of the Bene Gesserit.
I'm Gina Vanish, and I live on the internet, so find me anywhere with that name. I am playing Terra, the no Nihab Fremen.
And of course, as always, I am Shanky McStabber. I am playing the totally not sus and above board Mentat Hakin Dujen, apparently a clone as well.
Yeah. Last episode gave us a bunch of revelations. Among them, the Dujen surname being used for clones of the Titan Barbarossa. The revelation that Aguri Biles was the first part of the first generation of clones, and more or less a father of Hakim, if one could use that term. But we also got to see Della dive into the other memory and be guided by a young man, which is one of the first times that a male has been seen in the other memory. And we got to see her kind of realize why her daughter was scared. And we left off with the daughter revealing that her fear was because she had to choose her mother or the Empire. After that, Della gave her a word of influence to choose the Empire because obviously, as we've seen, she can take care of herself. And we pick right up as this other Reverend Mother kind of recoils from having her own voice taken over. There's a moment of understanding what happened, but you can definitely see that there's agitation in her face in the reflection. There is the first real semblance of emotion that Della can really remember ever seeing, because this is the Reverend Mother that taught you. This is
The student
uh,
has surpassed the master.
definitely a Darth Vader moment.
Mhm.
Um, and the young man comes over and just slides his arm around yours, almost like a date, and everything starts to fast forward. And you can see there's an exchange. The Reverend Mother gives your daughter a knife, and then there's movement. Days pass. You can see her coming into the room where her husband is, and they are looking at pictures of Thalder, the ducal family, Barand, his wife, and Terrace's sister, uh, and the two children, with a focus on the young boy, the younger of the two of his children. Uh, there's an exchange. There is a list. Among them, you can see your name, you can see Hakeem's name, you can see Antares's name, um, you can see Arister, Valeria's name. There's almost like a priority to the order that everybody's in. Uh, there's a moment where her husband kind of points out your name. There's a question that's asked, and you can see by her reaction that she is hiding the emotion from him, but definitely not from you. Uh, you can see that she's still torn about what has to happen. Uh, and then you see a fleet of Harkonnen ships fly into a highliner. Her and him in one of them. You can see them coming to Arrakis, and you see them becoming that ring around the Arakeen Plateau and descending from the highliner. You can see communications between the Harkonnens and the Guild, uh, and then you're brought back. And you have no idea how much time has passed, but outside you can see shafts of light. Night has definitely long passed. And you can hear that everybody is kind of moving around, awake, and setting something up. What is the plan for the day for Hakeem, Thera, and Taurus, the Reverend Mother?
Does the Reverend Mother still see the boy?
He is gone.
I believe we'd had plans to fly this ornithopter to go into the. There were some tunnels around the bluff that might have some big gooey vats in them. I know I was working on the ornithopter most of the night with Antares assisting me.
What did that one do?
Thera has already secured the entire siege, trying to make sure that it's cleaned up, taken care of. Everything, every place that she could think of that people broke into is at least as patched up as she can get it.
Mhm.
Trying to make this as secure as possible. And if she hadn't seen Della go to the room yet, she'd probably be going to check on Della to make sure she's okay. Can't have a wandering, Saradina, just willy-nilly all over the sands. Doesn't work that way.
Sure. It is the next day, so you all have slept as much as possible. Some of you more than others. Antares.
Some of us not at all.
Yeah. Antares definitely fell asleep at some point, mid help. But during the night, one of the things that Hakeem did notice is the ring around the Arakeen Plateau has thinned. Some of the frigates have moved on. They are hovering in orbit, but they are no longer focused on the plateau.
but they're still in orbit.
Still in orbit.
So they've offloaded.
That's the consensus.
If we're going to try to sneak up to the bluff, we'll need to do it when the sun is bright enough to make it hard to see us. I know that it's counterproductive, but when the sun is bright enough, if we're coming with the sun behind us, they won't be able to stare into it to see our ornithopter flying in.
Oh, you're still doing this on sand. That's why you wear white. Blend in.
The ornithopter would not blend in that way.
Hence why I said I'm used to doing this on sand, not on your machines. Are you guys okay? Do you need a little bit more breakfast? Or are you all right? I'm just trying to put everything back together.
I am fine.
Ella?
I suppress the melatonin that built up while I was doing my travels and turn and look at her and say, I am fine, thank you.
Okay, you were out for a long time. Just want to make sure you're not... Some people get sand lost.
I wasn't
They're
sand
not used
lost.
to. Okay. If you need something, let me know. I've plenty of supplies.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to finish up securing things if you guys need anything else.
Is there anything I can assist with?
How good are you at speeches?
Fairly well, I suppose. If not, I can learn.
Oh, no. I need to be good at speeches.
Oh.
I have to go in front of all of the Nihad.
So you need coaching. You need someone to teach you.
You show me, yes.
Yes, okay. Yes, I can do that. I can do that while I can accompany you.
Little words, though, because many of the big words you guys use, unfortunately, I get gently needled on.
Yes, so we won't do that. We will do it your way.
I got laughed at when I used copacetic.
It is a rather funny word.
I still try to think of this word, and yeah, I got needled on it a lot.
It is rather funny.
Mm-hmm. When you never hear about it, and you're going, why is this cope? What is aesthetic? And how do you put these two words together to mean unity when you're meaning coping and whatever aesthetic means? I'm sorry, I am learning, okay? Trying to learn the calculations.
We will go secure the siege while you continue working on.
Even my brain is not going to try to analyze languages and why phrases are what they are.
This is fair. All right, I will show you the ways we do things here, okay?
And as you secure the siege and get a little bit of guidance from the Reverend Mother, and even on the flight to the Arakini Plateau, there's a little bit more back and forth. How are you coming in?
We want the sun at our back, for sure. Okay. That way they can't look into it and see. Now, I know they'll probably still have radar or something to pick us up, but at least this way makes it a little more difficult. I'm going to be flying as low as I can.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to probably have to make a roll on that.
Yep. You got 1 momentum stored. There is 8 threat in the pool.
Yeah, but I can't use Twisted Mentat for flying, so...
No, but I'm just saying I'm not going to use any of it. I'm going to let you try to get some momentum because you're going to need it.
It's definitely going to be a move.
Yeah.
On that one.
Yeah, because you are piloting.
Yep. And then to go with it, damn.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Well, while he's doing that...
Well, for me, it'll be duty.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'll do constantly watching if that's possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I was going to give
I
you
would
a
also
target number of 10.
like to have just on board my hyper awareness.
Okay.
I got 2.
Okay. How do you want to use them?
I'm gonna, well, one for succeeding, I'm gonna, not crash the damn thing, and then the other's banked.
Okay.
I do want to do a separate roll of, since I'm flying in low, but what I can do, I want to look at it as when I get peaks as I'm coming over the dune, I want to analyze what I'm seeing of the plateau
Okay.
using, probably be deductive reasoning.
That'll work.
And for this one, I hate doing it, but I think power fits because I'm really analyzing to looking
The
for
edge.
a way to exploit it.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate doing power because it's my weakest one, but it makes sense. So,
Yeah.
okay,
That'll
these
be
are doing
another
good tonight.
difficulty 0 roll, so
Yeah, these are doing good because I got both of them under my my 7 on my focus skill.
okay.
So that's
2
2
crits. That's
yeah,
4 successes.
that's 4 successes. The first, let's see, I'm gonna use one right off for obtain information. Do they seem to be? Is there appear to be any heightened state of readiness? Is it? And is it pretty much Harkonnen troops I'm seeing?
It is mostly Harkonnen troops. There's a few sprinkles of what looks to be Valerian troops. But it doesn't look like they're in a state of warfare. It looks like they're celebrating.
Good timing on that. They don't appear to have noticed us. I'll use for the second one. Do they appear to have noticed us? Is there any scrambling vehicles or anything looking like it's lifting off?
Not as of right now, no. It appears that your use of the sun has at least kept you unnoticed from anyone using eyes.
Okay, and then I'll bank the other 2.
Okay. 4 of 6. There is a moment where, as you are right about the edge of where you imagine you would be the safest, you do see some of the other ornithopters start to power up. Apparently now you are in radar range.
Yeah. This is going to be a bumpy ride, everybody. We're going to come in as fast and low as we can, and we're going to ground and get off the damn vehicle. Get out of the ornithopter, because when they get by us, I don't expect them to ask questions. They are probably going to shoot up this thing as fast as they can.
And in the distance, all of you can see 2 ornithopters take flight, and they do start to make their way in an interceptor route.
Are we going to beat them to the plateau?
Right now, it looks like they're going to beat you to the plateau.
With the always watching, I rolled a 2 and a 9, and I'm using duty and move, and I'm looking for the teaches. I'm looking for where he can ditch and how I can get them to a siege quickly.
Okay.
Because fuck that. I'll go through the back way.
There is a set of tunnels close to the sand line, just a bit away. It would require a hard turn to the north and a bit of an outrun. But so far, it looks like this ornithopter can make that kind of push.
Thera, can you get her to the tunnels?
Of course. This isn't I can definitely get people to there, of course. You need to do this.
No.
And she'll point the way.
I'm going to slow down. You 2 are going to get out.
She'll look to Della and go, is this advisable?
I'm going to lead them away from you. They can chase me.
This wise.
It's a sound plan.
They already see us. Wherever we land, they're going to see where we land. At the very least, I can run them around as far as I can.
We are
give
not
you a
on the
chance.
plateau yet. We're
Not yet.
still over
No,
the sand,
they're going to beat
right?
us to the plateau.
When we land, Thera, put a thumper down. Bring
Alright,
a
we're
worm.
ready. I can do that. Though, Keen, when you drop, bury yourself in the sand quickly.
No, someone's got to fly it. If they see
trash?
if they see the ornithopter, they're going to investigate. I'm going to let you two out. You
And
two
send it.
will move without it. If I crash, I'll bury myself. But the plan is, I'm going to try to run them and then lose them in a sandstorm
Okay.
if I have to.
If you go north and bank out away from us and go into the desert, you'll be able to survive. Remember,
Wow.
you're wearing a still suit.
I'll try to get back to you.
Understood.
So,
Let's go.
She has an extra friend kit. She'll leave it by Hakeem. Use this.
Okay.
I'm going to drop them off, and then I'm literally going to make sure I don't outrun the ornithopters that are following me. I want to have them following me. I am the focus of their attention, not the two that get out.
Okay. Do you want Antares with you on the ornithopter, or do you want him with the two ladies?
Now that's an interesting. He won't do me any damn good. So not with what I'm doing. He's not going to help.
Okay.
One man is all we need. So I'll send him with the two ladies.
Okay.
And as soon as they get out, I'm going to lift off and try to lead them on a merry chase that isn't towards where Theron and Della are.
Okay. Easy enough to skim across. You're already flying low. It isn't too hard to just slow down, open the back, and just let them kind of roll out. Immediately as you come to a stop on the sand, like instinct and almost like subconsciously, it was your idea all along. You pull out the thumper there and you dig it into the ground, and you start hearing that thump, thump. And you can see the wind pick up, the dust and the spice kind of floating around you as the ornithopter takes off. Both ornithopters that were on an intercept course do not stop. They don't change course. They follow Hakeem and the fixed ornithopter. So you do the sand walk, trying very carefully to keep low, not to draw attention to yourselves. And you do hear the gunfire as the two ornithopters get to the point where they are within range, and they open fire on Hakeem.
Yeah,
So
little chance I can outrun them in a repaired ornithopter compared to theirs not damaged. So yeah.
So a single roll of your move or battle, because you are in a battle, and whatever discipline you would like to use, try and dogfight.
It's going to be, let me double check this real quick. I want to open up this ability, look at it real quick.
Mhm.
No, it's melee weapon only. Okay, so I'm going to use battle with my strategy focus and duty.
Allow that, yeah.
Yep, that gives me a target of 13.
You think duty instead of power?
Oh yes, because my statement for duty is I must survive to be of use to my house,
Okay,
and this is pure survival.
it is.
So that'll give me a 13. Oh, got 2 successes, 12 and a 13.
Okay. The first ornithopter fires wide. There is maybe a ding or two out of its volley. The second ornithopter, same thing. There are a couple of hits, but nothing major. But because of the busted, what's it called, a state of affairs that you were in, it is enough to start to push you to losing height. And as Thera, Della, and Antares get closer to the rocky plateau of Arakeen, you see in the distance the black smoke of your ornithopter and the slow descent as it starts to make its way closer and closer to the sand. In the distance, you see sudden flashes of light, one there, one there, one over there. It's almost like a coordinated assault. And given the distances and the directions, Thera understands that those are sieges that have just been attacked. After a moment, all three of you hear the sound of the crash. And you can at least hear in the distance the continued firing of whatever weapons the ornithopters were armed with. They weren't las guns. And at least the three of you have made it to the plateau. Do you want to proceed?
We mourn later, Thora. We survive now.
I'm not mourning. I'm noticing that there are three at least sieges that are under attack right now. Not mourning. It's trying to figure out what to do.
Let's see what's left behind here.
Yeah. She'll go into the sieges. She'll go into the one siege that she had planned on to.
The tunnels start to wind. Luckily, you've been here before. You know which routes to take and which routes to avoid, so you don't get lost in the maze. And they lead you to one of the common rooms where you see a couple of the Fremen immediately draw their weapons when they see you, and then they start to put them away once they recognize your face and your eyes. You have been gone some time.
A lot has happened.
You are telling us.
My siege has myself left. My parents are gone.
The men from the stars have attacked us. They have turned their full wrath on all the sieges.
The old Sanadina siege. They are going into the desert. I'm telling all families, go in deep in desert. We are only going to have warriors, soldiers, and scouts in these sieges now.
We have
We are
heard.
going. Good. Do you have any people, any injured, anyone that needs to go into the desert?
We have, but we do not know how to deal with them. And they lead you to a side room, and you see Barand and Altera and their children.
Oh, Charlotte.
Why are they here?
I don't know.
He tells
What
you
are
the group that was taking them into the desert was compromised.
compromised?
There was a member of the siege whose face shifted like snakes in sand.
Not those again.
It is unfortunate, but some of your off-world friends were killed, and he takes you to an adjacent room to this one, and he shows you that there is a couple of bodies. Among them is the physician, Dr. Ilara Dune, uh, the spy master, Plodolo, and the sword master, Ava Orlando.
We cannot have these people lying here. Process them. Process the water quickly. Get rid of the bodies. How many warriors do you have here? How many people do you have here besides them?
We have maybe 2 dozen at best. I can get more, but they are spread out in the
No.
tunnels.
We deal with what we have here now. No more. I will take 4. Dana, can you tell the difference between the peoples, like you did with the other?
Yes.
I will give you 4 warriors to look over. Then we will send them into the desert. They will know what to go, and they will take these with them. Do we need to scan the ducal family? Oh, in case?
I do now.
Barand, as you approach him, he looks distraught. He has no still suit. It looks like he's had some, he suffered some dehydration, but he looks at you. Reverend Mother, I'm sorry. They took Thalder. We asked to come back once I heard, because I thought that maybe I could trade something for him.
Oh no, they want us all dead.
Why?
Because you fornicated with someone you shouldn't have.
All this for a child?
Yes, a threat to the Emperor.
Did you not think before you dipped your sword into the ink?
A threat to the Emperor.
Has to be some other way. I have no desire for the imperial throne. I can assure you my son will have
You
no
may
desire.
not. You cannot assure that. You cannot assure that. We cannot control what our children do once they are fully grown.
He's just a boy.
Right now. And if they kill him right now, he will never grow up to be a man to become a threat to the Emperor.
And you see him lose it. He is distraught. He is starting to cry. He just walks over and sits with his family. Altera is better, it looks like. She still has a crutch to help her walk, though.
Look. You lost your son, yes?
He's there with him.
No, it's not his son. The brother, the Duke.
You've lost this person, right?
Yes.
My brother, yes.
How important was he to you?
He's my brother. We
I
grew
have
up
no
together.
siblings. I don't know.
How important is breathing to you? This is
Breathing is
equivalent.
nothing. Water is life.
He is like
You
water.
are dehydrated.
He was
I am not.
like water to me.
Are the Duke's children here?
No.
Where are the Duke's children?
Conans have them for leverage.
Really?
They want me and my family to come out of the tunnels.
Do you trust me?
Of course, we've no reason to.
Give me your son.
And you see Altera just shaking her head. And even Antares is kind of trying to convince her that he has seen you do amazing things and that there's no way that you would let harm befall her adopted son. But
I want to
she's
suss her out.
Okay.
Because I know the extent of that poisoning, and I want to make sure that this tracks.
Okay. That's going to be either communicate or understand.
We will go with understand on that.
Okay. What do you want to tie it to? Truth?
Duty.
Okay.
Because she's still trying to protect her house.
All right.
While she's doing that, can I put theory into practice and try to obtain information while I'm watching?
Yeah, of course. You do have 4 out of 6 momentum. So you guys can buy at least an extra die if you think you need it.
I
will.
I will spend the momentum because that tracks with my hyper awareness. It allows me to get a little perk for that.
Sure. I will say that each of your difficulties is going to be 1, so it's not going to be too hard.
That's a 1, a 7, and a 9.
Okay.
That's a 5 and a 7 for me, and I'm using duty and communicate. So that was 14. So I got 2.
2 successes. Della has 4, if my math is right.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 goes to the difficulty. You have 3 left over. How do you want to use them?
I want to obtain information.
She
has been a member of this. Della has been a member of this house for a long time. Is this woman behaving as she should be, all things considered?
Given that you were there when Altera was married to Barand, given that you have been there for the birth of her daughter, the arrival of her son, she is emotionally showing signs of compromise. She is definitely, this is not something that she's ever asked for, and she was definitely never meant to be under this much duress or stress. It's wearing on her. She's starting to
crack.
Mm-hmm. If not started, she's definitely cracked. You have 2 points left over. But this is, for your suss out, this is still Altera. This is not a face dancer.
It's not a face dancer.
No.
Okay. I will bank them as momentum.
You got it. You're up to 5.
Yeah. Because we may need it later. So.
Show might. You show might.
Della's actually going to walk over to Altera and kneel down. Shocking, I know, for a Reverend Mother to do, but she's going to kneel down and take her hands into hers. I will protect him. Your brother has betrayed you and your other brother.
Because she immediately turned to Antares. And she kind of looks at you. She's like, Arister?
Yes. He fights alongside the Harkonnens. You are on a list to be murdered, so is your son. So am I, so is your husband. So is your brother here. And every member of the Galloway family. They may be captured for now.
That pushes her over the edge. She starts crying. Antares tries as best as possible to console her, but Barand is the one that picks up the young boy.
Baran, trust me with your son's life.
And he looks at him and goes, "You're going to follow this nice lady, Stenton." He nods, and you see him holding a little ornithopter toy. And he kind of points up into the sky, and Barand, fighting back tears, just kind of shakes his head. No, not now. Soon. And he leads him to you.
And Della actually stands. But before she does, she leans down and reaches out her hands to him for him to come to her.
And he does.
And she smiles at him warmly. Picks him
Smiles
up.
up at you.
And she picks him up and actually holds him. You all must do as the Fremen say, if you wish to survive. They know this world better than any of us.
At this point, you see that Altera demands that Antares go with them. And he gives you this look like there is nothing that he can do about this.
Della just nods.
There's a quiet thank you, unspoken, but unhidden from his face.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of the Fremen start to push them out into the rest of the tunnels. Before he leaves, Barand hands you his little data pad, and it shows the clip that the Harkonnens are sending out to the Empire, where it shows your daughter standing next to her husband, and it is just this video of them proudly hoisting up Thalder's head. His three children, Treston, Pret, and Barra, in the background, are all blindfolded, gagged, but you can see that they're in a state of duress. It looks like they've seen some harsh interrogation. And the moment the head is tossed into the army, you will be allowed a communicate or understand role. I think it's going to be just communicate.
Yeah, we'll do communicate.
Yeah. I want to see if you can notice something in the audience.
That's going to be communicate and truth.
Leave the target number of 11.
I will spend 2 momentum for 2 dice. I mean, 3 momentum for 2 dice.
3 momentum for 2 dice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make sure I see this.
Yeah, I'm going to use 2 threat to raise it to difficulty 3.
And I got 3.
Okay. Nothing left over.
Mm-mm.
But you notice that in the audience, among the Harkonnen troops, among the Valerian troops, there are similar eyes to the Fremens that were turned into Golas. You see a couple of squadrons worth of them kind of looking up. And you notice them because they're not cheering like everybody else. They don't have the emotion for that. But among them, you notice there are a couple of the ranked officers, what you would imagine are the squadron leaders, the battalion leaders, that have a very pronounced white shoulder pad of an armor that you recognize as Sardaukar, the Emperor's elite.
Mm-hmm.
They call us barbarians, and they do this?
Harkonnens have always been monsters, but they're solid stock.
Hardly solid if they don't have the warrior's breath within them. They would never do this. Not the way you should do this in Arrakis.
In a few
The cowards.
generations, their decadence will undo them. I guarantee it.
Wish we would do it now. Save me problems.
The Emperor has sent his own soldiers to help them.
What does that mean?
The most powerful person in the entire universe has sent his army to assist the Harkonnens.
They could be a challenge for us, but for what I've seen,
And he has face dancers among them. Multiple.
this will be a little difficult.
They look like the Fremen that we saw at your former siege.
Still a siege. I'm the only one left. Until I fall, it will still be my siege.
You will not fall today.
I hope not. But if it is what which I allude, it happens.
The other Fremen usher Baran and his family away.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two of you and the boy and the four Fremen that you asked for.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do with? And she just kind of looks down at the boy. She doesn't remember the name anyhow, so.
Stanton.
What do we do?
We get him off this planet.
Are you going with him?
Of course.
Where are you going? Or are you not going to tell in case something happens?
To see a friend.
Will I see you again?
I will be back. Once I secure this child. I will
Is
be
he-
back.
Is he what's supposed to be so important to all of this?
Perhaps.
Is this the cost of what I've lost?
No. There will be more to pay until you can get your people to negotiate with the Spacing Guild.
But you think I had you teach me how to speak?
I know. Work on that.
That's the next thing I have to do.
Go with your people to the deep desert.
Do you want me to take you through this safety so you can get to your ship?
I look at the four. Do you need her to lead?
No, ma'am. We can take you to the capital.
Discreetly, yes?
So choose.
Yes.
Discreetly, and she wears a still suit. You put him in a still suit. You treat him like Flamin.
Yes. We must look like you.
We must stop then, so that we may suit the boy.
Yes.
Very well.
Bethera, go to your people. Tell them how important it is that mining operations of spice are interrupted and that you can negotiate with the Spacing Guild for control of the satellites to protect your people.
I have a question.
Yes.
If we negotiate with the Spacing Guild, would they give us the things to refine the spice to make sure that we give it what they need? We can hide it in different niches far in the desert they will not see.
Perhaps. They want spice. Give it to them cheaper than they get it from the houses that are greedy.
We have no house. We have a siege.
Exactly.
Trust me, I will not let any of my people diddle with anyone that's from whatever emperor on high. Drives me crazy. When you're joined, you're joined. You don't go about like this. It's just incalculable, as Hakeem would tell me.
Let us hope he has survived.
I will go search for him. And she'll look to the 4 warriors and go, no matter what, she survives as well as the boy. We keep our word. They get on and off this planet.
Be done.
Thank you.
She will actually offer a hug to Della.
And Ella does hug her. I will be back.
You stay safe and let Child lead you.
Yes.
Okay. She'll step back and watch them leave.
As Della and the 4 Fremen take off into the tunnels, as Thera makes her way back to find Hakeem, we cut to that crashed ornithopter, the sound of heavy gunfire above you as they are trying to decimate any remnant of survival. The frem kit that Thera left for you does have a tent, a thumper, maker's tools in case you're feeling froggy.
I've got a question.
Sure.
The ornithopter's relatively intact still. They're just shooting it up, right?
Yeah.
And the issue with shields are it infuriates the worm from the vibration on the sand. But would the worm pick up if I turn the shield on inside the ornithopter to keep myself from getting bullet hole ridden as they're shooting it up?
That would be an interesting situation to test out.
Because if I come out of this thing, they're going to see me and shoot me. If I stay in it, they're just going to keep shooting it. I don't like my chances either way.
You can already feel the spice, the cinnamon in the air. You can already sense it. You can already taste the ionization of the air. So their shooting has attracted at least a worm.
Yeah, this is going to end poorly. So I probably shouldn't do this, but I guess I'm going to do a deductive reasoning roll.
Okay.
No, hang on. Yeah, let me do a different roll, actually. I'm going to use strategy. I'm regretting what I'm about to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use battle and duty with a strategy focus.
Okay.
And my Twisted Mentat power.
Oh.
Because the advantage of Twisted Mentat is it gives me bonus momentum. If I'm using it to harm or inflict pain on someone within the scene or create a weakness I can exploit. So that kind of fits for me escaping this shit.
Sure do.
So I start with 2. How many threat do you have?
Because this gives me a threat, I have 5.
No, it's going to give you 3 threat.
3 threat.
Because I'm going to buy 2 extra dice.
Okay, so that'll put me at 7 threat.
Yeah, that gives me 4 dice to roll.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way, I'm good. I got a 13 as my target. Let's see what we get here. 1. Ooh, 2, 3. Because I got a 1 and an 8. Oh, man. So I got 4 successes. 8. 1 less, and I would have got an extra 1 on top of it. Damn it.
There you go.
Damn it.
4, so 1 for the use of your ability, and you have 3 left over. How do you want to use those?
I got it. I'm gonna create a trait to represent a weakness I've discovered, which I can exploit.
Okay, so that leaves you 1 left over.
Yeah. The trait. Actually, yeah, the trait I'll burn 2 to create an asset instead.
Okay.
Because it's going to be in ways to inflict harm. I'm creating a las pistol, a las gun that was left behind by
Aguri?
Aguri that I'm going to
Okay.
shoot the other ornithopters with.
Okay.
Yep.
So that gives you 1 left over.
That I'm going to bank.
Okay.
But yes, I'm going to create a las gun I can use to shoot the ornithopters.
Yeah,
Because you don't shield an ornithopter.
you don't. So you go about trying to shift the shielding from outside the ornithopter to inside the ornithopter to at least protect you. And as you're opening up the panels so you can switch wires around, you see that one of them is harboring a hidden holster. And inside of it, you see this las pistol and this clip that Aguri must have hidden for defensive purposes.
He's the type.
Definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
So you put the clip in. You are now armed with a las pistol.
Yeah, might as well kill any shielding because I know what's going to happen when I fire that pistol near the shield. Let's not have that happen here. I don't think Thera is going to come out and find a nuke going off.
That's how you make friends, though. You drop a nuke.
That way I can, I'm going to shoot. Well, I'm going to shoot whichever one seems to be doing most of the firing first.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like one of them they're switching off from firing and keeping an eye out. So they're switching back and forth. So easy enough to take aim and fire at one of them, and it eats through that light armor. It seems that the Harkonnens have set themselves up for the sand. So they've taken off some of the armor to reinforce some of the intake and make sure that they can stain themselves on the sand. And as you fire up at one, it just, even though this is a dime-sized hole, it goes right through and up. And you can already see that it is starting to bank as it tries to figure out how to correct and not crash into the sand. And as it starts to bank away, the other one kind of hovers up out of its way. And as it does, the hairs on your arm, the hairs on the back of your neck just stretch out. And lightning arcs up from the sand into the sky, and you see a maker. It is massive. It is, for all intents and purposes, an alpha's alpha. It looks to be about 50 feet in diameter. And as it comes up, its maw opens like a blossoming rose, and there is lightning that arcs up and just shatters the second ornithopter. And it comes crashing down with this massive thud and throws sand and spikes everywhere. And it claims some of the ornithopter with the pilot still in it, and you see it disappear into the sand as quickly as it came up.
Hmm. Well, that's a problem solved. Now to try to get... How badly shot up is the Fremkit that was left?
The tent looks pretty stable. The thumper's out of commission for sure. And the maker's tools are in working order.
I'm not dumb enough to try to ride a worm. I watched him do it, but
No.
that is not. Mm-mm. Well, I know a general direction. I've got my still suit on. I guess I'm going for it. I'm going to have to just set out towards, the plateau, because that was where I dropped him off, was towards the plateau. So I'll head that direction. And I've seen him do the sand walk and done the sand walk. I know how to do that. So I flip my Sibus hood up, because that's also a way that I kind of deal with the sand, and set out that way.
All right. And as everybody's going about their paths, I think this is a good point to go to break.
We will be back, everybody, in 10 minutes. See you, for the rest of this episode.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we got to see a little bit of the group coming back to the Arakeen Plateau, dealing with some of the repercussions of what's been happening in their absence. And we left off with everybody kind of thrown to the winds. Thera, we're going to pick up with coming out of the tunnels into the sand, and you can see the remnants of what Hakeem kind of wrought with his actions. You can sense the ionization of the air. You can see this massive lightning flash as streaks of makers calling kind of arc up from the sand into the sky. And as you sandwalk out in that direction, you come across him, maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes out. And you see him sandwalking as best as possible, but he comes up over a dune. He's still alive. At least you think it's him, because he's wearing the same shape-shifting, kind of face-shifting hood that he's been known to wear.
She's doing the sign of the Muad'Dib.
Yeah, but I'd never paid attention to that before, because that was between you and the Reverend Mother.
That's your fault.
Yep.
I love every instance of this.
And she'll slowly pull her sword and do this again.
He'll flip the hood back, so you see his face again. As I've explained before, if I was a face dancer, I would know those symbols, and I would have already studied the signs you made.
That's why I do it. You would have responded, yes?
Well, yes, I would have if I was a face dancer.
Did you?
No.
You're learning.
It seems my ornithopter had mechanical difficulties.
You don't say.
Yes, apparently it doesn't fly well when they shoot it.
Oh, I just thought that the Muad'Dib was, the Shailut was going to turn around and eat it.
Oh, he'll be
That was
back.
a big one.
Oh, he ate one.
Yeah, he was hungry.
Well, apparently her Conan doesn't meet well with its digestion.
I don't think our kind of meets with any of our digestion.
That was
Especially
my
mine.
attempt at a joke.
Oh.
Yes, I calculated a higher chance of it being funny.
I understand now. See, the joking at times I do not understand, but this is good. You are working on it. I am happy and impressed. Good job.
I have found surviving death apparently increases my humor a bit.
You should do this for a living.
I'll add it to my calculations.
Now or later.
Well, first I have to survive the desert.
You're with me. Of course you're going to survive the desert.
You do know they're going to send more ornithopters to find out what happened to these two.
Yes, that I am aware of. I may have been introduced to your culture yesterday, but I was not born yesterday.
We might want to move.
I'm going to take you back a little bit to the siege that we have just left, just so you can recover a little, and then we'll take you where you want to go to the rock. Yes.
We need to go and investigate why this ornithopter was at the base of all those, the base of the plateau. Well, that, what's left of that ornithopter, had stopped at the base of the plateau at multiple spots. They stopped for a reason. They stopped to drop something off. We must find out what it is.
Okay, we walk, we talk, you watch me walk because you're not bending your knees. To go around is most important to absorb the shock of sand. Okay?
I just was in a ornithopter crash. I'm not exactly flexible at the moment.
You have no time to stretch. This is fine. Just fought. We found Duke's brother, his wife, their children. They took his one son. We have the one that is by the other fornication. And Antares went with his sister and them into deep desert. Della took the son, and we are going to get her. I have sent people to take her to get off world.
This changes my plans a bit.
Big problem. Give me a minute. I have to remember. Harkonnens got Duke and severed his head. Then there was many people bald gagged and blindfolded. There are, she say, dancers of faces like us, and that emperors Sadikar warriors are here too. Gosh, there's so much wording.
Sardukar.
Yes. Oh, and mixture of peoples and lots of Harkonnens that are very much of savagery.
You're going to escort me to the plateau. And then you are going to leave me there. You must go gather your people and find a way to work a deal with the guild.
I need you to talk to me to tell me what I need to say.
Just tell them.
You teach me why I walk where we walk. Yes?
You just tell them that in exchange for them keeping the deep desert clear of satellite surveillance, your people will tithe to them. They don't like the word bribe. Tithe seems to work better with their guild. A set amount of spice each month. They will pick an amount.
Here's my question to you. I think of this. You need refined spice for this, yes?
The refining is not difficult. It is filtering sand from spice. Your people can do that.
Is that all that is needed and required?
That is most of the work.
What is the rest of the work?
I would tell them, well, you could make it the easy way. They have the machinery to refine it.
This is what I think.
Offer more as unrefined spice.
Well, I was thinking we could refine the spice, sell at cheaper cost, make hold on, I know word. Competition with houses.
Won't happen. If you do that, the Emperor will squash you.
Oh, we keep quiet. We keep only what they give us.
That won't work that well.
Well,
sure, you can export some of it through the smugglers.
Oh, we're not exporting. We go straight to guild. We don't deal with anyone else but the guild. If they can save us and do what we ask.
The guild will not pay for spice Their payment is the satellites.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not looking to make money.
You
I'm
can't
looking.
undercut the rest of it.
All that we're going to do is go to the guild to hide us. There is no. Maybe I use the wrong words, but I'm looking at trying to go directly and be no middleman. Go right to guild, get this done. If they can give us the equipment, we make the spice, we give to them, done.
You can probably pay them in unrefined spice, much like the smugglers do. The smugglers now pay them in unrefined spice because, oh, smugglers are smugglers. It's not like they have their own ships that can fold space. Only the guild can fold space.
What is smugglers? What do they do?
You've not seen them? They are the non-house attached people who harvest spice in less frequented areas. They pay the guild a percentage of what they take off the planet. It is never enough to jeopardize the emperor's or whatever house holds this sway over the imperial economy. You'll be doing the same, except you're just paying not to bring spice off the planet or to get guild highliners. You're paying, well, for the guild to keep the satellites blind. If they want it, you... How can I explain this?
No. Hold on. One question, please. Is there a way we can get at least somebody to educate my people? And we are not looking at trying to get any more anywhere past where we understand, where we can be as educated and understand what you are doing, but we can then speak for ourselves and make sure that we keep ourselves to ourselves, but we are aware of everything else. So in your calculations, we understand we are the cannon fodder. But what if the cannon fodder understands us and weighs out our words and weighs out our actions more carefully?
I'm going to hate myself for saying this.
That's fine. I'm used to this now.
No, the best teacher for your people is about to leave the planet with a young boy.
She's going to be back.
That is your hope.
No, it is Shia Lud's will. I believe this.
I can teach, but there's several problems with that. One, I must survive, and I do not feel I'm going to survive because as long as I live, they will keep hunting me. No one I am with will be safe. Nowhere I go will be safe.
Wait a minute.
You arrive at one of the markers.
How do we pretend you're dead? There is a way. Everyone can fake something.
There won't be a way. If there's any chance at all that I am alive, they will continue to look for me.
But what if we present a narrative in the moving picture thing on your the data thing?
They won't believe it unless they see me die.
We have plenty of dead bodies.
House Galloway has fallen. The Harkonnens have taken this planet. I do not have a house anymore. In some ways, I guess that makes me free. The problem is I am a clone. I am a clone of a deeply flawed monster.
They're all monsters in our own way.
No. You don't understand. I am a clone of someone who almost destroyed humanity.
Hakin, you are your own person too. The things that make you, you're not the crazy titan that they say you are from. You are a calculating person.
Yes, and my calculations say you are better off without me. Your people are better off without me. My advice in the short term would be useful. In the long term, your people do not want to be me. You do not want to get turned into me. You do not want to become like me. You would lose what it is to be from it.
You give us a little credit, and you give yourself little credit too. However, I will say this. I know I am not smart in how you were created or trained. I know you say I don't understand, and you are right. May I impart something to you?
Sure.
You have a beating heart, do you not?
That does not factor into this.
That's not the answer to my question.
Well, yes, I have a beating heart. I am a person.
You did not attend my mother's funeral, and you stayed away. And you stayed away for a bit. I observed this. You feel. You don't like it, but you feel. That makes you more human than clone. And I believe, with all of my understanding, you give yourself only little credit for what you've been programmed to think and do. One day, Mr. Hakim, I believe, one day you might outlive us all in one way or another, whether it be in this body or in your spirit, because you have a soul, whether you believe it or not.
Which you fail to understand. I can be no more than I am genetically programmed to be. If I stay with your people, no matter what I wish, no matter what you wish, over time I will twist you to my purpose, to my gain, to my advantage. I will do it not because I want to. I will do it not because it's the right thing to do. I will do it because it is what I am. It is what I do. It was what I was made to do. I can do nothing else. You must understand.
I
I
understand
am
the words you are
created
saying.
to be a monster. You cannot take that. You cannot change that. You cannot twist that.
I can't.
Then do
But you
yourself in. I'll record it. And she holds up.
I don't think you were there.
No, you guys made it back.
Oh,
Will said that.
no.
Him.
I am going to the plateau. I will go to the plateau and I will buy time.
Then help me find something that we can use. We've been looking for perhaps something like an undetonated ordnance or something.
What is ordnance?
Things that blow up.
I can
Atomics.
find this.
Not
can
necessarily
find-
atomics, but we'll see. Something that they might have dropped on the siege that didn't blow.
Subtle step and constantly watching. Yeah. Sure,
Well,
I can
you
use.
can see that there's some
Depends.
Fremen making a still suit for the boy.
Do you want...
Do I want what?
Do you want me to destroy part of the plateau? Harkonnens and all.
As long as we can spare a ship for me to get this child off planet.
You get off planet.
And what is the cost?
The cost will be me, my shield generator, and this las gun.
I don't like this cost. Nor the idea the
You
calculations
don't
are incorrect.
understand.
You keep
I
saying that.
cannot be with your people.
All
I
right.
will
I didn't say.
twist them.
Thara, he is a marked man. I am a marked woman. Right now, we must separate from you and your people.
I am not saying I'm taking him into the deep desert. I'm saying he stays in the sieges here.
Thara,
And they will attack them over,
over and over.
The
That's
Emperor
why
will
you-
not stop. The Bene Telex will not stop until I am dead.
Thara,
I know the secret now. I will die for it.
Thara, wouldn't your people rather go out on your own terms instead of someone taking you out?
I'm not arguing. I'm coming with ideas and trying to understand.
I-
And every time people tell me I do not understand, it is incredibly difficult to try and wrap my mind around things that I'm trying to get.
I understand. I do understand. And I am happy to educate you and your people. But first, I must secure this child.
I know, I'm not stopping you.
I know,
I had no qualm to stop you.
but
One of the other
Hakeem
Fremen,
needs to
one
do
of the other
this.
Fremen comes over. Is this what you mean by ordinance? And he leads you to what looks to be a set of iron doors, at least steel forged doors. There's a small ocular cavity that scans everyone as it comes by, and it isn't until Hakeem gets close enough to get scanned that they register who he is, and the doors open. And sitting in cradles is an entire battalion of Gola. At least 600 strong.
Here's what we can do. Reverend Mother, you are going to make a video. I am going to explain what I am, what the Bene Tilax has been doing.
She holds up the data pad and presses record.
I am Hakeem Dujin of the Bene Tilax. Twisted Mentat created. In my case, I am the 3rd generation clone. The clone, well, of one that should not have been cloned. They have been making clones repeatedly, trying to harvest the brains behind the Butlerian Jihad to create a perfect, I'm not going to say being computer. And as I am what I am, cloned from what I am, what happens this day is on the Bene Tilax as I break the Accords of War and detonate my shield with a las gun, because I can be no more than I was programmed to be, as I was cloned to be. This is theirs. They made me. Perhaps now, when this gets out, someone will do something about it. And then I turn and go to stand in the pile of all those golem vets. You all might want to leave and get far away. This is going to, well, this violates the Accords of War.
She stops the recording. May your soul go on a splendid journey.
I am a clone. It raises a question about the soul, doesn't it?
I guess you'll have to find out and let us know next lifetime, huh?
Well, or my clone will.
And she turns and leads everyone out.
Take your people far from here, Thar. This is going to be energetic.
I understand, and you have a soul.
Go, Thara, run.
Oh, yeah, because
Let's
it's going to
run
go
the
off like a
desert.
nuke in a minute in here.
And Della wraps the boy in her shawls and her wraps. He's small for his age, so he looks younger than he is, and tells him, be very, very quiet. This will hold you secure. And she holds him tight and starts running with the Fremen towards a ship.
There is a little voice that just says, okay. And you can feel the little fingers just kind of grabbing.
Onto me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to catch up with where the Antares and that group was going. She knows that siege very well.
Yeah. And as you make your way and you take the Fremen that were helping, there is a moment where the whole of the plateau shakes. Dust is let loose, rocks crumble and fall all around you. And you can hear alarms in the distance. The Fremen that are with you receive almost silently. No words are exchanged, but they stop to see if you need a moment before pushing forward. And if not, they will continue to lead you.
We go.
And by the time you get to the tunnels that lead to the capital, the rushed still suit for the boys finished, and they put them into it just in case.
Mm-hmm. And I see, I'm sure it's chaos here.
It is, everyone's running back
I
and
am
forth.
looking for Antari's ship.
It is across the quad. It isn't locked down like the Galloway ships are locked down,
Mm-hmm.
but you can see that there are some guards kind of patrolling around it.
I want to work through the crowd to get a little closer to see if I see shields on them.
No shields.
Interesting.
No one is wearing shields.
Okay. Interesting. That they wouldn't on the plateau.
Because last gun.
Because lasguns.
Before she gets too close to them, she's going to tell the Fremen, create a distraction. Lure the guards away.
Of course. It would be done. And right as they're going off to the side, you see some of the guards at the base of the ramp leading up into Antares' personal ship look up, they nod, and they start to go about protecting the other side of the ship. And you see a couple of Harkonnen guards come down, but they're in flanking position of your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looks out, almost like she knows where you are, and then looks back to her compound that is hers now. And she motions for the guards to keep their distance, and they nod and start to walk off. But it almost looks like she's created this whole alley for you.
And I will take it. And as she goes into past her daughter towards the ship, she will lightly brush her hand along her daughter's hand and go inside.
Is Dara following?
Dara's going into the desert. She is going with the other family.
Okay. There is a moment where, after a moment, rather, your daughter comes up, follows you into the ship. No words. She just kind of motions and starts to walk towards what looks to be Antares' room. And once you're both inside, she closes the door. She locks it. Is this the boy?
Yes.
So much bloodshed.
Yes.
you from here.
Take me to Caladan.
And she nods at you. She steps in for a hug.
Della does hug her. Thank you, my daughter.
And there is this hard squeeze from her. And right as she is letting go, you feel the blade come in from the back of your ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And she is crying. And the only thing that you hear through her strained breathing is for the Empire.
And she uses her voice one last time.
Ooh. What
As the blood stops flowing because she has complete control of her fucking body. Let me make sure I do this right because I might have to use some stuff. How much momentum do we have?
It is 3 momentum, but remember, your voice gives me threat.
I know.
So,
We're going to go all 3.
okay.
Slit your throat. You are a failure.
And you see her struggling, the hand shaking as it starts its rise up her body. There is understanding that dawns on her, and understanding that I think dawns on Della at the same time. And she turns her attention to the boy. And as her hand starts to come up, she keeps stepping closer to him.
Della steps back. Do it.
And there's a moment where she falls forward onto the boy. And then there's just blood.
And I quickly turn the boy away. I walk to the front of the ship. The pilot, is it Harkonnen?
No, it looks Valerian.
You Sir Vantalis?
Of course, he's...
Get this ship up in the Highliner. Now.
Is this an order from the Earl?
This is an order from the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood.
And after a moment, he starts to punch in some buttons. He calls on the radio for clearance to fly. And he looks back that we're not cleared to take off, madam.
Do it anyway.
We might get shot down.
Tell Balin to be Harkonnen that I have his wife.
And there is a moment, and he comes back. We are cleared to leave, madam.
Good.
And you see the ship start to fly up into the atmosphere.
And she goes to another quarter that doesn't have the wife's bloody body in it and secures the boy.
And as you see out the window, the yellow, orange atmosphere of Arrakis give way to the black, purple, blue of space. The Harkonnen frigates follow you into the Highliner.
She goes to the pilot. Get a member of the Spacing Guild in here now.
Of course. And it takes a while. There's no fighting allowed inside a guild Highliner. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that, but somehow it still happens.
And there is a couple of Spacing Guild operatives that come in flanking a higher, not a lieutenant, there's no military ranks, but a kind of head of PR, as it were. And he bows low. Reverend Mother.
Yes, I am to meet my superior on Caladan. Immediately. I have information that must be delivered to her.
Very well. I'll make sure that the pilots know that we get you to Caladan in a timely manner.
And I know the Harkonnens decided to follow me.
They have requested positions in the ship, yes.
Mm-hmm. Let them know I will leave their wife once I make it safely to my destination and they leave.
I will pass along your recommendations.
Thank you.
And with a quick bow, he takes off.
And she settles back in until she gets to Caladan.
We cut to Thera as the Fremen go deeper into the desert. There is some time that passes. At first, a week, then a month, then months, then years. But the Spacing Guild does come to the table. They give you a number. They tell you that they will conveniently lose track of any information that they do take whenever any of their ships make it out into the wild space, but they won't have any urgency to go out that far. Below a certain level of the equator, they just won't care.
She'll take that information, make a deal. She will have everyone go below the equators to keep them hidden, keep them safe, teach them what she's learned. Only the teachers around those cities are for scouts and warriors, nothing more. They create signs, words, symbols, so that if a face dancer does remember, they change them. She'll put everything she learned from Hakeem into practice, even learning how to calculate, making sure people understand.
It is 10 years now since the events of the Assassin's War that almost destroyed House Galloway. House Valeria has been raised up to a great house and given control of Arrakis. House Galloway is now a minor house again, beholden to them. And unfortunately, Thera never heard from anyone again. Not the Reverend Mother, not Hakeem, and not Antares.
Yeah.
And this is where we end our season of Dune.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
Hakeem knew the moment he found out
shit.
he was a clone, he was dead.
Mhm.
They would never let me off that planet. So
Oh my
do the damage
God.
I can in the best way possible. Spoil their plans and blow their shit up. Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for participating in this, for letting me run this for you guys. I hope you had fun, and that I hope that I threw some endings on there that weren't on your bingo cards.
It was brilliant. I'm just like,
Emotional
thank
damage.
God for the body conditioning, though.
Oh my
It
God.
stopped that bleeding immediately.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's really hard to kill a Bene Gesserit,
But
though.
you got to be fatal.
Yep.
She missed it by a rib.
She missed it by a rib.
She wasn't going to kill her own mother.
No.
She knew what that meant, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, at least Hakeem got to, leave one legacy. You bribed the Spacing Guild.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she also turned around and wanted to use all the things that she will always say, but you don't understand. Just as a throwback to him.
No.
Good trying to convince me to stay with your people, but that could not happen.
Oh no.
You would
she
have never been
tried.
safe.
She tried. I give my point. I give points to me for trying because I tried.
And I'm sorry Della didn't make it back in 10 years, but
She looks out of the sky and knows she's there somewhere.
There's a boy she has to protect.
there's a boy she has to protect.
And Terry's
Hey.
is going to wonder what the hell happened because he missed this episode. And
You know what? I would like a little bit of a chance. So maybe Thera, because she never got joined, she never had kids. She could slip onto a Highliner, go to Caladan, and be like, "Hey, bit, what up? Remember me? You said you're coming back. What up with that?
yeah,
Oh wow, you have water all over the fucking place. What the hell?
this is weird.
Especially Caladan.
Yeah.
What is this bath you talk of? What the hell?
What is all this water? You're not bottling it up. I don't understand.
Yes. So, will
Holy
there be a
crap.
season 2?
We 3 survived.
I think if there is a season 2, I'm going to do an anthology and just tell a new story.
A new story.
That's
Play
Fantastic.
another character.
Yeah, we'll see when the casting call goes up
Yeah.
Yep.
whether who
yeah.
applies.
Yeah, we'll see.
This
Speaking
is
of
such a good story, though.
speaking of casting calls, so you
It
know,
is.
everyone, we cast these shows from our Discord. So if you want to be in a chance, maybe for season 2 of this when it comes up, because that's where we post the casting calls. If you're on our Discord, you can apply like Relin did, I did, Junie did, and Alex, who's not here tonight, unfortunately, but he couldn't help it. I understand why he didn't make it. So, join us on the Discord. We also do a weekly Zoom hangout. This week, it was supposed to be tonight after the stream, but I have been sick for the last 2 days, and I'm not up to it tonight. But we will do one tomorrow and probably early in the day, so very European friendly since Tiss is not streaming tomorrow.
Mhm.
We can do it much earlier than usual. So join us on our Discord. You'll get to hang out and Zoom with us. I'm also going to be posting about a non-streamed game coming up here soon. Non-stream, either we're going to do a murder mystery or we're going to do some Blood on the Clock Tower, or depending on the interest, maybe both. We'll see, because why not? We haven't done one in a while. Of course, if you want to catch your back episodes, pop over to YouTube. We've got all the back episodes of Dune. We've got all our Windy City. We've got Mage that was run by Ravenous Archon. We've got Werewolf that Ravenous Archon was in, as was Relin up there. And all of our back content's on the YouTube. And if you want to see some D&D or Call of Cthulhu, pop over to Ishvel. That is where Tiss has all her stuff. Of course, if you want to see some amazing content creators, check out our friends here. One of which is Ravenous Archon, and the other one is the RPG Table, which is Junie. She runs Vampire over there. When's your season break end?
September 3rd.
So September 3rd, she'll be back to Vampire on the RPG Table, and Ravenous Archon, when you're not streaming with us, you'll be back on your channel.
Yeah, I'm back on Monday.
On Monday, you're back over on Ravenous Archon. So if you like
Yep.
watching his storytelling, pop over to his channel on Monday. Check him out, because, he likes to run games over there. Let's see. You want to get some McStabber Studios merch? I can't claim I was in a one shot and died, but I was in a season of Dune, and all I got was this T-shirt and a death. But at least I got to pick my death, and I'll take it. Take it any day. For the viewers to know, as always, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to Relin or I. The studio don't take bits and donations. That's a way for the viewers to give thanks to the players. If you want to support the studio, of course, you can subscribe here on Twitch or pop over to our KoFi. That's how you support the studio. But bits and donations, they go to the players. It's a way to give back to them for everything, the hard work that they do. And for once, I'm done my part, and Relin can give the schedule.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us for episode 8, which ended up being the finale of this season of Dune, because Will, as he said, my players did things I didn't expect, and now we're here.
We pulled into the station a little early, but I don't think anybody has any complaints.
No, the pacing was perfect. The pacing was perfect. All right, so coming up, well, first, I want to give a shout out to Astro because it is Astro's birthday today. Well, technically, it's already tomorrow for Astro because she's in another country, but it was a birthday today, so happy birthday, dear. And let's see, let me pull up my schedule. Yeah, so TIS is not streaming tomorrow. And we have on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern our Windy City After Dark Season 7 live cast Q&A at 5 p.m. Eastern. Join us and ask us lots of questions about Windy City, the season that we just finished up, character questions, anything. Because a lot of stuff went down this season. A lot of stuff.
The last known, for right now, the last Q&A that has a Lamar in it.
Yeah.
Because he is, for those that watched the season finale, and those that didn't, sorry for the spoiler.
Yeah.
But he is, a personal life has had him,
Have to
season
step away
7 be
for-
his last season with us.
Yep.
As a full-time player.
Yep. And then, well, we're not going to be back Friday with Dune.
We'll need next Friday off to recuperate.
Yeah. Friday stuff. I know. But on Saturday, Tiss will be back, as far as I know, unless she tells me otherwise between now and then on the 27th. She will be back with London Esoteric Society at 3 p.m., as far as I know.
Before she takes her September break.
Before she takes her September break for moving. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yep. Join us Sunday. And, of course, hang out with us in Discord if you want to talk to us between now and Sunday.
And September's looking a little light for streams right now, but that's fine. We're going to do some non-stream stuff in September. I think it's a good month since we don't have a lot of streams to do community-focused games that will be non-streamed. Normally, like I said, I'm looking at a murder mystery party and the always popular with our Discord, Blood on the Clock Tower, which is a social deduction non-streamed game. And we're just going to be looking to do some things like that. I might squeeze in a one-shot somewhere in there. I haven't decided yet. Thankfully, the kind of one-shots I run, a lot of times we don't need much lead time to get them. I like to run games that are nice and easy for one shot. So we'll see what we got coming up. I'll have to make some decisions this week.
Yeah, but September's light, but don't worry. Mage is coming back in October.
That's right. We definitely going to be picking right up again in October. 10 Candles is one of my thoughts. But right now I'm reading Promethean. So I'm eyeballing a one shot or something of Promethean at some point because I haven't done that World of Dark or Chronicles of Darkness product technically yet. So why not?
All right. So that's it for mine.
And as always, everybody, at the end of these streams, we want you to take mental health seriously, especially with the shit that we just went through in this damn season here. This was a lot of ups and downs. Mental health is important. So first of all, check in on people around you, reach out to them, make sure they're okay, because a lot of people aren't. And some people just need a voice to reach out and say, hey, are you okay? To help them out. And if you suffer from mental health issues, first of all, I want to say flat out, mental health is health. And there's nothing wrong with admitting you need help with your mental health, everybody. The stigma that has been attached to it really, honestly, shouldn't be a stigma. Mental health is important. We all have to deal with it. We all have bad times, good times. And honestly, don't be afraid to admit you need help once in a while. And if you don't feel you have people you can reach out to, then in chat, look at the numbers right now. You can call or text those numbers 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and get somebody to give you, to be on the other end to listen to you and to talk you through it. And if you're not in the U.S., because I know we have a number of non-U.S. viewers, there's also a website there you can plug in your country and find out the mental health support in your country. Because everybody, we take it very seriously. Mental health is an important thing. And I'll turn it over to my wife for her portion.
I'm a McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. And the nicest mean nurse you're ever going to meet. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm going to do it because I care. Y'all seriously need to get your damn shots. Get your COVID vaccines, get your boosters, get your boosters. I know there's a new booster that's supposed to be coming out that deals with the newer variants. So when that comes out, go get that, please, please. This is how we beat this, okay? Please don't go do that. And then also, smallpox vaccines are starting to roll out. Please go get them when you can. Please. Not smallpox, monkeypox. Sorry. Basically, it's very similar to smallpox, but it's exceptionally painful. Monkeypox is exceptionally painful. You want to get that vaccine. Not only is it super contagious, it's also very painful.
Yeah, glass on your skin is the way I heard it described.
Yeah. It affects the nervous system. It's really bad. So please go get your vaccines for that. And it's not a sexually transmitted disease. It's not a gay disease. It is a literally contact and droplet respiratory transmitted disease. So any close contact, any close proximity to someone with the infection can get you sick. And then also polio is definitely in its comeback phase. So make sure your vaccines are up to date for that and any other communicable illnesses, please. One last thing. I may be preaching to the choir. Maybe all of y'all have this intention, but the important thing is that when election time comes here in America, if you are an American, please make sure you are registered to vote. Please do me a solid and vote blue down the damn ticket.
Vote for those who believe in bodily autonomy and health.
Yeah.
Please don't vote for a death cult.
Yeah.
No
I mean, legit, when Miss Cheney ain't Republican enough, that should tell you there's a problem with the Republican Party. Okay? For real. It's a death cult. It's a death cult. They don't care about people. They just want people to fucking die if they don't fucking bend down to their will. Yeah. Seriously, vote Democrat, please. Independent votes are wasted at this point because we need to bury the GOP. We need to bury them because they have caused human rights violations in our country. In the past 3 weeks, there have been multiple cases of women having to carry pregnancies to term that are non-viable, or women having to carry them until they go septic in states. This can kill people, y'all. And not only that, let's just traumatize the hell out of people. Let's just traumatize the hell out of them. So, really, just do me a solid. Vote blue. Thank you. Said with love. And fuck Putin.
Yep, don't forget fuck Putin. We can't stop fucking Putin. He's not out of the Ukraine. We're not done fucking Putin. And as I like to say at all the end of these, please everybody, don't be a Satine, Phoenix, or Jameson Stone. Be a good neighbor. Be a Mr. Rogers. The TTRPG community does not need abusers. We don't need narcissists. We don't need people who I think the only way to build a community is by stomping down everybody else, or to build their brand, as they call it, by stomping other people.
Narcissists really aren't self-aware enough to be able to correct themselves.
Yeah, I know.
But
please don't be like them.
Yeah. And don't tolerate people that behave that way.
Be a good neighbor. Be Mr. Rogers. He was always a good guy. Or be a Bob Ross. We could always use more Bob Rosses in the world, just so you know. So it's been a privilege to be at this table with you, Ravenous Archon. You could finally say you killed me. I killed me, really, technically, but...
Yeah, you killed you.
Yeah, but I was going to die anyway. So I do thank you all for coming, and we will see you next time, hopefully for the cast Q&A. So good night, everybody.